Yes. Yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes. Hello, everyone. What's up? I'm back. Aloha. It's Nivni, featuring you Adair and Itiha. It's a pleasure to have all of you for the main event, part 2 of the visual novel, My Lovey-Dovey Demon. Let me get a quick recap of what happened. So yeah, Taichi, this big brother and his siblings, they went over to their grandparents' house to spend some vacation. And yeah, the grandpa told the grandkids, "Do not go in my study." And you know how that goes. One of them needs like a magical book, and presto, we got ourselves this lovely demon lady named Elisabeth. And she's not up to anything like that. She just wants to enjoy our human realm. Yeah. And she's precious. Hi, Jarvar. Glad you could make it for this one. Alright. Without further ado, let's get right into it, shall we? And here's a neat little, not trick, but feature. Like, if you're on the menu, you move the mouse around, seems like she's following you. So now we left off on day 3. It's December 27th, 2100. Day 3. Early to rise. I wake up early the next morning, the rising of the sun. Reza is still fast asleep. That's Taichi's little brother. Irregular snuffles escaping his parted lips. I watch my little brother for a few moments, smiling at his sleepy innocence. Then, filled with newfound energy, I get to my feet. I have a little food to prepare. Yeah, so, Reza, Taichi's little brother, he's like, yeah, he finds Elisabeth like a friendly person and wants to get to know her, wants to be friends with her. And so, it was Taichi's idea that, hey, I can make us a picnic so we can all get together. And also, the opportunity for Elisabeth to appreciate the nature side of the human realm. And hi, Jordan. Glad you can make it. Nip Pop is here with part 2 of My Lovey-Dovey Demon. Also, don't you worry. Eventually, I'm going to continue other visual novel. Please be happy. But yeah. I fresh up in the bathroom, get changed, and head to the kitchen, taking care not to make too much noise. I don't think anyone else is awake yet. Now you're my grandparents. Fortunately, the tatami mats muffle the sounds of my footsteps as I slip through the house. I want to make a decent start on our lunch before my grandmother's up and about. She'll be wise to use the kitchen to make breakfast. I don't want to get in the way. First, I guess I better wash the rice and stick it in the cooker so I can boil while I'm busy cracking eggs and frying chicken. I'm still stuck on making sandwiches. They're simple enough. Rice balls might be good too. They're also fairly simple, and a cursory scan in the kitchen shows me there's more than enough ingredients to fill them up. I think I'll make a tuna mayonnaise rice balls. Who doesn't like tuna mayo? And maybe pickled plum. That's a bit of an acquired taste, but Nan is a big fan. Chiharu doesn't like sour foods all that much, but she's sure fine with the tuna. As for the sandwiches, I guess I could go like an egg salad. I don't want to make anything too fancy. I'll make ginger chicken too, and rolled egg omelets, none of which are particularly time-consuming, but they both require the stove. This isn't really the space, nor the time, to do much in the way of frying. First, however, I should start Ernest's cookies. Reza wanted. Whipping up the batter shouldn't take too long. It's a 10-minute job. If that, but they'll at least take 20 minutes in the oven to crisp up. I should finish the batter first. Then I can start all the frying. I hummed to myself as I work, some cheery track that by that popular idol group, Polite Princess. I'm not that big into Polite Princess, or idols in general, for that matter. But one of my friends at university, his name is Shoji, is a fan. He got me into them. Well, I say Shoji's a fan of Polite Princess, but I might be giving a bit too much credit. I don't think he's a fan of the group per se, or of their music. He's into them for the leader, Ayana, and to use his words, is her incredibly thick thighs. I scold Shoji for being shallow, but that'd be pretty hypocritical of me. It's not like I'm any better. Alright, the batter for the cookies is finished, so I should be able to dump the mixture onto the baking tray and slide it into the oven. After that, I'll get started on the other, more finicky elements of the meal. This should be a cinch. That's one thing taken care of, at least. Now, where are the pans? I read about in the cupboards for a couple of minutes. I cooked in my grandparents' kitchen before, but I'm not as familiar with it as my own before I retrieved 2 hefty frying pans. Pans unearthed, I set them both on the stove, wipe them with oil, and crack up the gas. I can't afford to waste a single second. Time's ticking. The rice should be done. So should the cookies. Before that happens, I need to get the omelets done and the chicken cooked thoroughly, so I can make a start on the sandwiches, not to mention the salad. I give myself a lot of work to do, but I don't feel overwhelmed. I'm used to the control, the chaos of the kitchen, after helping my mother for so many years. Besides, none of my dishes are all that complicated. It's middle school level, really. I bet even a kid could pull this off. Well, no. Maybe not. I still think of Nene as a kid, though I know she'd say otherwise, and I wouldn't trust her near the kitchen, especially not when I'm trying to cook. Nene can't cook worth a damn, and she's always forgets to do her homework, but she's a stickler when it comes to logging into her sleep gotcha games every day. Her priorities are messed up. Will she ever be able to become a productive member of society? She's got a few years to pull herself together, but I still worry about her. Ooh, it looks like the rice is done. That's pretty good timing, since I've just gotten finished with the rolled egg omelets. I think the chicken will need a bit more time, but it's crispy up nicely. I can make a start on the rice balls while the chicken's frying, and then I guess I'll work on the sandwiches. I'm in the process of sliding the egg omelets off the stove so they could cool when... Hey, Taichi! Guess who? Ah! Darkness descends. I can feel pressure against my head, and another similar pressure against my back. Oh no, here we go. Two somethings, to be more precise, are all up and close and personal, I guess the curve of my spine. Naturally, I know who my assailant is in an instant. Elisabeth. Yes, that's right. It's me. How'd you know? Because your tits are huge. And you're all squashed against me. I never thought I would say that. It's something I could say, but I decided that they'd probably be inappropriate. Not that Elisabeth didn't care about her propriety. Her chest is still pushed up against my back, and her hands are over my eyes. Did she really think she was gonna trick me like that? If it did work the first time, it wasn't gonna work a second time. Let's just say it was a lucky guess. Now, are you going to put your hands down? I can't see, which is pretty important, you know, when you're cooking. I don't want the chicken to burn. Oh, yes, you're right. I'm sorry, Taichi. Elisabeth steps back, and I, after inspecting the chicken to ensure it's still alright, that's about to meet her gaze. Elisabeth is wearing the same oversized shirt she wore during our shopping trip yesterday with Haru. The baggy, shapeless article of clothing she borrowed from my grandpa. I'm not gonna lie, Chirps. She actually looks hot in that shirt. Elisabeth's legs, meanwhile, are exposed and her bare toes are curling against the floor. She's showing off an awful lot of skin there. It's a bit distracting. Be still, not being hard. Taichi, are you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. What are you doing here? It's still pretty early. I figure you'd be asleep. I was asleep, but I got thirsty. I came down for something to drink. Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. You want to get yourself a glass? There's in this cupboard here. Right. Thank you, Taichi. Elisabeth takes a glass from the cupboard indicated, then pours herself a glass of water from the tap. I figure this would be the end of our little teat and teat. It's only 6, so Elisabeth could stand to go back upstairs and get some more shut-eye. But she doesn't move. She sips at her lukewarm water, then peers over my shoulder at the ginger chicken. Hey, Taichi. Yes? What is it? What are you cooking? Is this for breakfast? No, it's not. Grad's in charge of that. I don't know if she'd like if I took over her job. Thought I did offer. She gets pretty protective about that kind of thing. Then what is this all food for? You're making a lot. And it smells all really good. Would you let me try some? Sure, I will, but not... Then I'll help myself. Right now, you're supposed to save some of it for the picnic. I sigh as Elizabeth picks up a piece of freshly fried ginger chicken straight from the pan and pops it into her mouth. What? You just popped it into your mouth straight from the frying pan? That thing must be searing hot. Her eyes widen as the chicken lands on her tongue, and with a wince, she claps a hand to her mouth. That's really hot! Duh, the chicken's still... Oh, okay. I was already... Is she immune to that? Well, duh! Chicken's still on the stove. I haven't finished cooking it. Just that. Although it's almost there. I guess. You should count yourself lucky. That's not raw in the middle. I wouldn't want you to get food poisoning. Oh, no, it tastes really good. Really. It isn't raw at all. It's just a bit too hot. Is all. It'll cool down for the picnic. You need to wait a few hours before you can dig in. The picnic? I told you about it yesterday, remember? We're all gonna take a walk in the woods around lunchtime. You, me, Char, Nene, and Reza. I thought we could sit by the river to eat. You seemed pretty excited about it yesterday.
Ooh, right. I remember now. I was tired last night, so it must have slipped my mind. I've been so busy in the human realm. Thought I only just got here. Already been so much fun.
You've only been here for one full day so far.
Yes, and it was very rewarding. Going to town was fascinating. I didn't know the human realm had so many huge buildings.
Well, you better prepare yourself to be disappointed. You won't be seeing any buildings, huge or otherwise, in the forest. Unless you want to stop at a shrine. It's not that impressive, though. Nothing in this village is. As a kid, I thought this place was dire. Now I'm older. I'm better at distracting myself. I guess I have my phone to thank for that. Less so. But I still prefer Tokyo. I can't imagine many tourists want to while away their stay in Japan in a backwater village like this. But Elisabeth seems excited enough at the prospect. I guess she's easy to please.
I'll be the judge of that, Taichi. I can decide what I like and what I don't like. And I think I like this village very much.
You say that, but yesterday, you all but begged me to keep wandering around the town. You almost missed our bus because of your antics.
Yes, well, I was excited because it's very new to me. But this village is new to me too. I've not been in the forest before. I want to see what it's like. I'm curious about this shrine you mentioned too. But most importantly, I want to eat your food. Your ginger chicken is very good. It feels a bit too hot. I want to try those funny little things too.
Elisabeth points to the pan of cooling egg omelet, which I still need to cut into bite-sized pieces.
And all this pink mush.
Elisabeth points to the bowl of tuna mayonnaise.
It all looks intriguing.
You could try the omelet layer, but you won't be eating that pink mush on its own. That's supposed to be a filling for rice balls.
Rice balls?
Yeah, you get some boiled rice, and then you put fillings inside it, and shape it. You can season it with salt, and wrap it with seaweed. They taste pretty good. And they're easy to put together. It's so easy. I bet even you can manage it. Do you want to give me a helping hand? You don't have to if you're not interested, but...
I'd love to. That sounds like fun.
It isn't. It's just grunt work. You don't need to act that excited.
But I am excited. I never cooked before. Not in a human kitchen. It's a very cozy feeling. And I'm happy that you trust me enough to let me aid you. I suppose I must have got a good impression thus far. Huh.
Despite yourself? I guess. I think we were helpful in the kitchen than Nene. At the very least. Though that's not saying much. She's only good at eating food, not preparing it. Last time I let her help me, she sliced her hand open on the vegetable peeler and bled over the kitchen counter.
That sounds scary.
It was. Kinda. There was so much blood. I thought I might have to call an ambulance. And Nene's cries about her dark magic being siphoned away by the infernal light didn't help. I guess it's impressive that Nene's so committed to her character. Doesn't even break, even when she's bleeding. It did make her hard to pinpoint how much pain she was actually in though, and how deep her wound was. Well, since she could kid around, it reassured me some that her injury wasn't all that serious. That was a while ago, though. Nana isn't here right now, and you'll just be making rice balls. You don't need to use any of the silverware. I can show you how to make one when the rice is done, and you can copy me. How does that sound?
That sounds wonderful. Thank you for being so patient with me, Master. I'll be under care, as your lowly pupil.
I'm glad you're enthused, but you don't call me Master. As much as I like Elisabeth, that kind of interaction really is too intimate. I'm way too inexperienced for all this. With the food for the picnic prepared, with a little help from Elisabeth, our breakfast consumed. I set off into the forest a little bit before midday. Chiharu, Nene, Reza, and Elisabeth in tow.
Oh, hiya, Slick. Welcome.
We just started for part 2, chapter 3 of
By
Lovey-Dovey Demon. They were just preparing for a picnic. Just so Elisabeth can truly appreciate the human, the nature side of a human realm. And also to get to know, we're playing as Taichi siblings. It's warm, muggy sort of day, just like the day before, and the sunlight that's beating down on the top of my head is almost uncomfortable.
Taichi, I recommend you get bucket hat, like Nifty here.
Since I had to prepare enough food for 5, the hamper is full to bursting. It's pretty heavy, and my shoulders strained beneath it. It'd be nice if I had some help hauling this along, but Reza's too young, Nana's too immature, and Elisabeth is too caught up in the beauties of the natural world. Knows my plight. As for Chiharu, meanwhile, I can't stand the outdoors, especially not in the summer. There's so many mosquitoes. Why can't they leave me alone? Slap. She's engaged in a spot of pest control. This isn't war. This is pest control. How come they didn't bring any, bug spray? Oh, for goodness sake. Chiharu's been swatting the mosquitoes for a while, but I don't think she's having much success. If I was keeping score, which I'm not, I guess we'd be at mosquitoes 1, Chiharu 0.
Are you alright, Chiharu? Is something the matter?
What? Oh. It's fine. I seem to be rather popular. That's all.
Popular?
With the mosquitoes, they're rather attached to the older sister of mine. Whenever you go out, it's always assailed by bugs. That's right. It's such a pain. It feels like being back in middle school. Chiharu, by the way, was very popular in middle school.
Hi, Prodex. Good to see you. Bah.
Droves of boys fell over for themselves with the opportunity to stand in her shell, much less speak to her. For some reason, guys, especially young, impressionable middle school age guys, seem to have a real thing for girls who refuse to give them the time of day. Maybe they enjoy the thrill of the chase. I can't say I can relate to these feelings. Personally, I only catch feelings for girls who are nice to me, who wants to be treated like dirt. Please don't answer that. That was a rhetorical question. Chiharu smacks her clavicle, but not again. Looks like another failure. So, we are mosquitoes 2, Chiharu 0. That's gotta play on my sister's pride. I know she can't stand losing. Well, maybe the mosquito would be less likely to pick on you if you didn't wear so much perfume. It probably attracts them. I don't see why I ought to change my ways for the sake of a few stupid insects. If I want to smell like patchouli and vanilla, then I'm every right. No matter how many mosquitoes that can stop me from living my best life.
What's patchouli?
A plant.
Ooh, I see. Will we see any around here?
I could say, I'm not sure what it looks like, but I do know what it smells like.
So, do all your mosquito buddies? Perfume must be attracting them, like a beacon.
Oh, please. Has anything to do with that, with you? It does have to do with me, actually.
And keep complaining.
I'm only trying to help. Our older brother is right for once in his life. Thou hast hardly complained while thou art the architect of thine own misery. I'll be the architect of your misery in a minute, if you keep shrieking like that.
Shrieking?
Me? This dark one was no never. I'm sure you wouldn't. I meant only to tell thee, my dear sister, that if thou were more like me, thou wouldst never be bothered by being as inferior as mere mosquitoes.
Hey, count yourself lucky. At least it's not vampire finches.
I doubt you have anything worthwhile to say. But sure, just this once, I'll bite. What are you talking about, Nene?
Why, I'm most glad you asked.
Using my dark powers, which are bestowed upon me by the Dark Lord.
Yeah, you should get to the point already.
I am easily capable of repelling the malignant influence of all insects. It's thanks to my immense, intense aura that these wicked mosquitoes know not to approach me, not if they value their brief, insignificant little lives. My powers are so great, thou seest, I couldn't turn to ash in mere moment.
I bet she has bug spray. Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Her eyes widen, and, scowling, she slaps her hand against her wrist. But it's already too late.
Why, you rotten little... You come back here, you coward, and fight me! I won't let you get the better of me. I'll vaporize using my magical abilities until nary a speck of you remains. I can't stand for this disrespect. I am the Dark One.
Well, so much for Nene's dark powers, as far as I can tell. They're not doing squat.
You're not doing squash
To protect her. Maybe I should start a new mental tally.
Mosquitoes 1, Nene
0.
You wicked creatures! If thou knewest what powers they were toying with, thou would never...
Okay, so our mosquitoes 2,
Nene
0. She's not doing a very good job at this, is she? Well, so much for that.
What does it mean, so much for that? How dare they be so cruel? I thought they were mine own sister, one who possessed mine own flesh and blood.
I think those mosquitoes are the only ones who possess your blood right now, Nene.
Taichi, you're as bad as Chi. It isn't polite to kick a lady when she's down.
I didn't know you were a lady. I thought you were the Dark One.
I can be the Dark One and a lady. Everyone knows that. I am the woman of manifold mysteries. I'm immortalence.
Except warding off mosquitoes. Or so it seems.
I'm doing my best. It isn't my fault I'm so very attracted to these stupid bugs, can't help but...
Ooh, we're at 3-0 now. How embarrassing for you. I mean... You're keeping score too, Chiharu. I thought it might be amusing. It seems like we're on the same page then.
Oh, go
I'll jump off a cliff. You're both so mean. I don't mean know why I bother. Nene scowls, then stalks off. She doesn't get very far, however, for a surprise cry halts her in her tracks. I hear the rustling of leaves, shortly followed by a dull thud, and then a yelp of pain that sounds distinctly like my little brother. What was that? Was that Rissa? I swear, I saw Rissa just a few moments ago. She seems to have disappeared. Did he get bored of all the bickering? Wander off. That shout I heard certainly sound like him. I hope he's not hurt himself.
Hey! Ressa!
Little brother? Oh no. Three of us dash into the forest, our sibling rivalry momentarily forgotten. I can't see Ressa. I'm not among all the foliage. We can't have strayed too far from the beaten path. Not when his plaintive cry of pain sounds so very close. I grip my head this way and that, searching for him fiddly until...
Aww. Shh. There, dear. It's alright. How's it alright? It hurts. I know it hurts, but it's only temporary. The pain will go away soon enough. But it hasn't gone away yet. It hurts now. I know, dear, but soon this pain will be a little more than a distant memory. Try to focus on happy things. Make a hug Flopsy. I'm sure she'll console you.
Right. It looks like Reza is alone after all. When Reza headed off, wherever that was, Elisabeth must have followed him. I guess she was the one who sent him on his tree stump to better examine this bloody knee. Elisabeth's eyes are narrow, her expression thoughtful.
Let me see. Your fall's already nasty, but the cut isn't too deep. That's something to be thankful for. You should be able to walk on it, if given enough time, just to be safe.
Gently, Elisabeth presses her fingers against Reza's injured knee. Reza winces, but he doesn't cry out. His sobs seem to have stifled, for the moment at least, as he buries his face in Flopsy's head. Elisabeth, meanwhile, narrows her eyes. Her lips purse, and strange, arcane words spill from them. Light begins to emit from her palms, brighter than the sunshine, which spills onto the forest floor. I watch, my eyes wide with chalk, as Elisabeth uses her magic. The light is a soft, ephemeral thing, and it's more beautiful than anything I thought a demon could create. Elisabeth focused on Reza's knee for a few moments, and then...
There. How do you feel now, little one?
Oh, Reza blinks, perplexed, a reaction which I can't blame him for. I feel pretty perplexed too. I feel a lot better. Thank you.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. And what about your knee?
It's funny, but Reza bends his knee experimentally. He swings his leg back and forth, but he doesn't wince. It hurt a lot after I fell, but it feels fine now. It's like I never hurt at all.
I'm very happy to hear that. I'm not very good at offensive magic, but I have something of an affinity for healing magics. My enchantments are particularly potent, but I can certainly take care of a scraped knee or two. I'm really glad I was to be of assistance.
Elisabeth rises to her feet, then leans in. With a compassionate smile, she ruffles the top of Reza's head.
Now, don't sob. There's no need for it to. Not when I'm here. I'm not your real sister, but I will do all I can to look after you. All the same, you have my word.
Really?
Of course.
Elisabeth lets her hand fall from Riz's head and extends her pinky finger to my little brother as to make an unbreakable pact.
I promise.
Wow. I might have been an active participant of this scene. I think I forfeited that right after spending so much time kneeling Nene with Chiharu. But I'm touched by it, regardless. The smile on Elisabeth's face is so guileless. It's enough to make my own heart flutter. I always knew Elisabeth was nice. Right now, she doesn't look much like a demon. She's far more like an angel. Half an hour later.
This all looks so good, and it tastes even better. These rice balls are so delicious. I could eat 10, no, 20 of them, and I still have room for more.
The five of us have finally made it to the riverside, despite the unfortunate hiccup which occurred during our journey. Now we're all sitting on the picnic blanket, which I splayed on the grass. Elisabeth tore into the food the moment I took it out of the hamper, and her eyes are sparkling. Her effused compliments feel a bit unwarranted. But I know Elisabeth well enough to realize she's being sincere. When is she anything but? I'm sure Taichi's flattered you think so highly of his food, but I have to warn you against eating 20 rice balls. There would be enough food left for the rest of us if you ate that much, and I doubt ingesting all those cards would be good for you. You wouldn't want to make yourself ill, would you? Elisabeth giggles quietly and sets her half-eaten rice ball down on her lap.
Perhaps you have a point. I apologize if I'm being gluttonous. I know eating to excess is a poor habit, but this food tastes too good. I can tell you put a lot of effort to it, Taichi. I'm honored that you're sharing it with me. I feel undeserving.
Please, don't. I didn't make all this food for you to stare at it. It's supposed to be eaten. I'd be hurt if you were so enamored by it. You couldn't bring yourself to take a single bite. This dark one doth concur. Were you not filled as in the dark realm, thou couldst never be undeserving of a repast crafted by a lowly peon like my older brother.
Lonely peon?
My right eye twitches. I'm not sure if I like the sound of that. Now, listen here. I feel like giving my diabolical sister a little crash in respecting your elders. But Netta ignores me. Boisterous as always, she continues her earlier tirade, prodding her chopsticks in the air, all the while for a dramatic effect. If she's not careful, she'll have somebody's eye out with those. Thou art a powerful being in thine own right, a genuine demon. If anything, thou shouldst demand my brother offer thee tribute. It will be me well within thine rights, given how immense thine own powers are. As for myself, meanwhile, Nana swipes a piece of ginger chicken with her chopsticks, then chomps on it. I shall take whatever's eyes desire, with nary a thought to spare for the plight of the common man. I am above the hoity-toity, for I am the dark being who has been blessed by the Dark Lord. Oh ho ho ho. Yes, we've heard it all before. Chiharu rolls her eyes. And don't talk with your mouth full. It's rude.
It's rude? But gee.
Reza, who's taking a bite out of his own rice ball, frowns.
She is the dark one. She can be rude. She's above it. As these nenes corrupted my little brother.
Indeed, I am. Paltry affairs such as table matters do not concern me, though mayhap they ought to concern you, my younger brother. You've some rice in your cheek just here. Let me get that. Nene brushes these grains of rice from Risa's cheek in an affectionate manner, which doesn't quite square with her identity as the Dark One. Nene's behavior can be borderline insufferable when she stars on her Dark One roleplay, but she's always been affectionate when it comes to Reza. I think Nene's closer to him than she is to Chiharu. Or I. Mostly because, I presume, Reza is young enough to get swept away in Nene's play acting. Chiharu and I, being the older, more sensible, and ergo, more boring siblings, are less likely to indulge her. You should be careful, Nene. You wouldn't want Reza to pick up your bad habits. Would you? Not in the slightest. Our younger brother is too drowning to become an apprentice to the Dark Lord. Then perhaps you ought to be cool with your babbling in his presence. And for the last time, stop talking with your mouth open. Even Dark Ones need to abide by common courtesy if they get along with us lowly peons. Well, mayhap. This Dark One doth not want Risa to lose his way.
Lose my way? If I get lost in the woods.
You shouldn't. If I have anything in the mirror, I'll keep a close eye on you, so don't worry. Now, what do you want to eat next? Some of the ginger chicken, lady. You ought to hurry up, before Nene snaffles it all. Don't things escape my attention that you've been hogging it all, oh dear sister of mine. Nene freezes guiltily, so much for being above the hoily, her chopsticks poised above the container, full of ginger chicken. This Dark One cast not help it, though I doubt not think much of it,
Now, was that really necessary?
Thy ginger chicken is truly delicious. The consumption fills me with dark powers anew. I can feel my blood thickening.
So I say blood thickening?
That sounds like a serious medical problem. And, far as I am that you like my chicken, she says of Arisa. He likes it too. Of course, wicked though I may be, I wouldn't be wished to deprive my younger brother of succor. Here, Riza. Nene pushes the box of ginger chicken towards our younger brother. Take some, if that's what thou's desire. Thou needs to grow up big and strong.
I'm strong already, though.
But, thank you. I'll have some. A companionable silence falls between the five of us as we eat our lunch. I feel kind of sleepy on account of waking up so early, but the food's varying my spirits somewhat. I don't mean to boast, but I think I'm a pretty good cook. The fare I prepared, though simple, is all nourishing. The rolled egg omelets, delightfully fluffy, the ginger chicken flavorful, the rice balls hearty and nutritious. I'd be content to sit here in the silence, enjoying my food. But silence is rare whenever Nene's around. My unruly little sister finishes a mouthful of food, then setting her chopsticks down, she looks at Elisabeth and says, "So, Elisabeth."
Yes?
Elisabeth, who is sipping at cool barley tea from a plastic cup, looks at Nene curiously.
Is there something you wanted to ask me?
Yes, of course. There are many, many things this Dark One wishes to ask of thee. I suppose this Dark One shall start with the basics. Don't bother Elisabeth now. We're all trying to relax. I'm sure she doesn't want to be subjected to a police interrogation. I know that, mine own older sister. But really... Nene waves one hand carelessly, very nearly hitting me in the side of the head as she does so.
Hey!
At least she puts her chopsticks out, which should reduce the risk of her skewering anyway. Accidentally or deliberately. Art thou not insatiably curious, as I am, to the exact nature of Alyssa over here? She is, after all, a demon, a denizen of another realm. Surely thou hast questions thou wishes to ask of her.
Yeah, but there's a time and place.
I do, yes, but posing to her while we're eating is in poor form. You must remember your manners, Nene. Oh, who cares about that? I care about that. Thou cares too much. This Dark One hath allowed Alyssa to indulge long enough, but now I find I cannot no longer remain silent. My curiosity bubbles forth like a volcano. It cannot be contained. Any attempts to silence myself shall only, I fear, make me all the more restless.
Oh dear, that sounds rather serious. I hope my company isn't selling you, Nene.
Nah, it is quite the opposite. I feel most pleased, honored even, that I was able to have an encounter with a genuine demon like you. But this is precisely where my restlessness stems. Never having visited the demon realm before, I cannot help but be curious. What is it like?
What is it like? That's quite the broad question. What precisely do you wish to know?
Oh, everything.
Everything? That sounds like a tall order. I'm not sure I have time enough to tell you about everything.
Then thou cannot tell me about some things then. I want to know what the demon realm looks like, and of your people's customs, and what you eat, and how you dress, and... Ooh, all sorts of things.
I want to know too. I lived in Japan all my life. I never been to the demon realm. Is it big?
Is it hot?
Do you have any pets?
Did you go to school? Are your mommy and daddy nice? What about your friends? What are they like?
My friends?
Yes, your friends. A beautiful, sophisticated demon such as thyself, must have a lot of them. Of that, I am certain.
I'm certain.
In this miserable realm, you see, none of my peers understand my strife, nor my struggles. They think me insane when I speak of the Dark Lord.
Wow.
I wonder why. I never feel to listen to my tales. Ostracized by my classmates who bear hopelessly mundane outlooks on life, I am bidden to walk alone, a tragic phantom lost in a cold, dark world. Now that's a pretty fast way to say, I have no friends, and I'm a total loner. Maybe Nene with her advanced vocabulary will make a decent poet one of these days. I doubt thy existence will be as solitary as mine, though. Verily, thou must have been popular. You must be, you're so nice after all. Indeed, thou art nice, kind, and incredibly good-looking. I know if I were destined of thine demonic realm, I'd be honored to call thee a friend.
Oh, well... About that...
Elisabeth smiles awkwardly, adjusts her hair, brushing a few pink strands behind her ear.
I have no desire to disappoint you. I think you might have the wrong idea about me.
How so?
Niceness is not a trait that is highly valued in the demon realm. Among my peers, Herrera stand out. Much like you do, Nene. I'm not half so popular as you might imagine me. I'm not at all accustomed to being asked so many questions about myself. It's a bit overwhelming, actually. But I'm very glad that you're both so interested in me. My life isn't particularly exciting, but I'll do my best to reply to some of your queries, if that would content you.
Oh yes, indeed. This Dark One could not ask for more. This Dark One is trembling with anticipation.
I don't know what anticipation means, but I want to learn about you, Ellie.
I want to know where you come from.
Then I want us to be friends. You sweet thing.
A giggling Elisabeth leans in, and very gently, she ruffles the top of Reza's head.
If you're this interested in me, then I think that makes us friends already.
Do you really think so?
I would like to believe so. You, and Nene, and Chiharu, and you, Taichi.
Me?
Yes, you. You've all done your best to make me feel welcome, though you didn't have to. You're also very kind. I'd be flattered if I could be your friend. I cannot think of anything else that would make me happier. I think you're all wonderful.
Later that night,
What? There's no way you can't just ask a question like that on live TV, can you?
if you keep this up, you're gonna make me blush.
Me too.
This seems awfully intrusive. Oh, please, get a grip, you two. This is an interview. It's supposed to be intrusive. That's what the audience is tuning in for. If you're idols, you should expect as much before agreeing to go on this show. Probably figures, remember? I know that, but asking about our love lives? That's going a little too far. Relax, Kari. The question was about your more recent love affairs, which shouldn't be an issue anyway, given we were allowed today. We're being asked instead about any of our childhood crushes.
I know that. That's so embarrassing.
Please, I know you're the youngest in our group, Kari, but don't be such a baby.
Am I being a baby?
Indeed you are. You should be mature enough to answer a simple question about your childhood sweethearts. Should be at least one.
Well,
I never did. Not me.
no siree.
I was very popular back in elementary school. That isn't a surprise. You've always been more interested in eating sweets than guys.
I know. I still like sweets more than I like guys. They're way more yummy.
And how'd you know that? Don't tell me you're actually a cannibal. Wouldn't you like to know? A girl's gotta have some secrets. Frog says, in nature, pretty red colors mean they wear.
Ah,
You're right, Press. It's like that. You know, like certain frogs. They're colorful. Some frogs are colorful. It could be toxic.
maybe so.
But cannibal is a big no-no. That's not something you should joke about. Nivni is right. For once. Get your act together, Yaya. That's not funny. Maybe not. Your face sure is.
Why you?
Alright, you two, settle down. Getting way off topic here. Questions about our past loves. Remember, not our personal feelings on cannibalism. Not socially acceptable. Or not, it might be.
Oh, yes, of course.
I apologize. Oh man, what a bummer. Cannibalism question was like way more interesting. Besides, it's not like I had any boyfriends back when I was a brat. I was too busy playing on the swings to think about dating.
Goodness me.
My family are sitting in the living room, kneeling under the tiny mat. We're staring at the TV. At least some of us are. Which is airing an interview with Japan's most popular girl group, Police Princess. I'm familiar with a lot of Police. I wonder if that's palette. Police Princess discography, but I don't know much about their actual members. I know that the leader of the group, the dark-haired one, serious-looking woman on screen, wearing blue, is called Ayana. I think the bubbly girl in green, the one who isn't talking about cannibalism, is called Yotsuba, but I'm not too sure about the others. Their newest recruit, a shy girl, looks even younger than I am. Might potentially be called Kari. I think one of the other girls addressed her as such. As for the other two, however, I'm not sure. I don't care about Police Princess, so I'm not paying this anything too much attention. We're watching mostly at Nene's insistence. And that isn't, surprise surprise, for Police Princess' sake. Nene isn't big on cute poppy idol music either. Nene wanted to watch this interview show for the sake of the second band that's due to be interviewed after Police Princess, some gothic group who play aggressive rock. Crunchy guitars are more Nene's thing than upbeat choruses full of nonsensical English. Nene's the one who asked if we could put this show on, but she's not watching either. She's busy playing some game on her phone. Jaharu, meanwhile, is busily occupied with painting her toenails, while Reza, already half asleep, is cut up on grandmother's lap with Flopsy. My grandparents look pretty captivated by Police Princess's interview, though. Much than I thought they'd be. My grandpa chuckles at irregular intervals, largely at the yellow-clad idols. I'm sure now that her name is Yaya Antics, while my grandma smiles with polite bemusement. These girls certainly do talk a lot, don't they? They're speaking so quickly, I can hardly follow what it is they're saying. Well, yeah, it stands to reason. They're being interviewed. They're supposed to talk. That's what most people be tuning in for. Oh, I understand that much, but they keep cutting one another off. It's very hard to follow. Perhaps I'm simply getting old. Maybe I need to put my hearing aids in. I don't know if I borrow if I were you, Grandma. It's only Police Princess. I doubt they have anything interesting to talk about. Don't you like this group, Taichi? Not particularly. Her music doesn't do very much for me. Maybe it doesn't. I can't say I've heard these lasses sing before. But what about their looks? Can't deny, they're all very pretty. Yes, indeed, they are pretty, aren't they? I've been thinking that myself. They look like little angels.
Angels? Are they really?
I guess as a demon, Elisabeth will be naturally predisposed. Take against the angels. They ought to be your natural enemies. Like, cats are like with dogs. Right, of course. But angels... Angels actually exist? I'll have to ask Elisabeth about that later. If the demon realm exists, the angelic realm must exist too. Like, light and dark. You can't have one without the other. Or something. I don't get a chance to ask Elisabeth any probing questions, however, because my grandma speaks up again. Oh no, they're not real angels, dear. Not as far as we know. In any case, it was just a figure of speech, because he looks so lovely. Yes, indeed. Aiko and I both think you look angelic yourselves. Is that right, Bakiko? That's right. You wouldn't fit right among the girls of Play princess, is it? That's play princess, grandmother.
Play princess, then. I think so. At least. Well, I don't know about that. I didn't know these so-called televisions exist up until half an hour ago. There's no way I can appear on one. I'm not even sure I can get inside a TV for one thing. These princesses must be employing powerful magic indeed to make this all so small.
I think Elizabeth is laboring under a bit of a misapprehension here. She really think the girl's a complete princess. Well, maybe I should say women. Like Ina's in her late 20s, or 30s, living inside the TV, shrunk down to the size or dormies. It's a cute supposition, I guess, but it's totally wrong, like every conceivable level. It's no wonder Elizabeth's been so ensconced with this, quite frankly, type of interview, if she believes that. I've half a mind to correct her. But... this interview's so dull. So it's as boring as her music. And that's saying something. This Dark One doth concur. Mass-produced idol groups like Polite Princess are not but a blight upon the music industry. Polite Princess are an affront to my ears. The world would lose nothing of note if they disappear from the world stage forevermore. But Rikako is quite stylish. This Dark One shall concede upon that, at least. Rikako? The haughty one. Nana gestures to the screen, where the yellow-clad Yaya and the purple-clad princess, Rikako I guess, are busy bickering. I don't think much of her current terror, but she's featured of fashion books this Dark One possesses. In her free time, she is quite the connoisseur of gothic Lolita fashion. She's a representative of the style, in fact, and she wears the ribbons and the ruffles well. I wish that my wardrobe boasted as many rare prints as her, but alas, this Dark One doth not have earthly capital to fill my dream. You would have more earthly capital, you know, if you keep spending your allowance on that silly phone game. Hush, mortal, foolish mortal. Thou art in no position to question me. Sure. Whatever you say. I don't understand why you have such a fascination with frilly dresses like that in the first place. It's expensive and it does nothing save draw other people's attention for all the wrong reasons. It doesn't seem worth the effort. Not to you, perhaps, but that's because art thou a slave to modern trends, mine foolish sister. Thou ought to help thine third eye and see beyond the mundanity thy clings to seek so slavishly. And thou ought to develop some common sense and realize petticoats went out of fashion centuries ago for a reason. Why would you go out of your way to make yourself so uncomfortable when high heels already exist is a mystery to me. Chihara rolls her eyes, then returns the application of her nail polish. A sulky Nene, meanwhile, glances back at her phone game, all while mumbling something like, "You just don't get it." The interview with the polite princesses continues while the seven of us watch in silence. My grandpa continues to laugh at the irregular intervals, while my grandma coos over how cute polite princess members are, Kari in particular. I don't think there's anything too remarkable about their supposed cuteness. It's a widely known fact that girls are chosen for outer groups based on their looks, rather than their talents, but I don't say that. I don't want to spoil my grandmother's fun. It looks like she's enjoying herself, even if she can't keep track of the polite princess's lively replies. Elisabeth also seems to be having fun, though don't think she understands even the very basics of how a television set works. She stares at the TV set, intrigued, her lips purse, and, as the minutes pass, She shifts. One of her arms twines through mine, while her cheek rests against my shoulder. This closeness is not entirely unexpected, given how she cuddled against me on the bus yesterday, but it makes my heart skip a beat. I can feel Elisabeth's hair tickling my cheeks. Smell too, the scent of flower shampoo which exudes from her. It's a sweet scent, one which borders on intoxicating. It's all a bit overwhelming, but...
Taichi? Are you alright?
Oh, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I don't push Elisabeth away. As awkward as I am, I find that I don't want to. Company really is a comfort. Now somebody sounds tired. Busy day, huh? I address this query to Reza, who's lying a few inches apart from me in the dark, but of course doesn't reply. He's fast asleep. You always fall asleep so quick. I guess you must have exhausted yourself. I smile faintly at my little bird, the softness of my expression lost among the shadows. The sound of Reza's brother breathing is mingled with the hum of the cicadas beyond our bedroom window and the gentle breath of the breeze. As per usual, I can't hear any cars nor any pedestrians. If it weren't for the insect, it'd be almost completely silent out there. At least having Reza around makes things a little more homey. If it wasn't for him, I'd probably feel pretty lonely. Watching him sleep is kind of nice, actually. Not that I want to come across as a creep. I'm no blood-sucking vampire waiting to pounce on my next victim. That sounds like more like it being in Elisabeth's domain. And even then, she's too sweet-natured to even sink her teeth into anyone's throat. I'm not sure if her teeth are sharp enough for it. I've not gotten a good look at them. She might be a demon, but she's no vampire. I like watching Rizzo is all. He looks so relaxed. It's silly to see him so utterly at his ease, exhausted after a day spent playing in the great outdoors. Reza's a pretty sensitive kid, but it looks like he was having a blast. I'd like it if he could continue to smell like that, when he smelled like that, the way he did today, with me, Chiharu, and Nene. Sex says, by the way, my name used to be Slut Reaper. If I remember that name. I'm busy lately and haven't had time to come by the streams like I used to. No problem, Slick. Glad you can drop in for this one. And of course, Elisabeth too. Speaking of Elisabeth, she really was nice to Reza earlier. She dried his tears. She sat him down. She wiped all the dirt and blood off his injured knee. She was so gentle and tender. She could have given my own mother a run for her money. For a demon, she's incredibly nice. I had no idea the denizens of hell. She's so courteous. Now, if only she wouldn't shove so much food into her mouth in one go, that'd be a plus. Watching her tear through the lunch I made was a bit disconcerting, but... Well, I got a bit too upset about her conduct. Not when she told me that my food was so good, she couldn't help herself. It was pretty flattering, actually. Elizabeth sure knows how to stroke a man's ego. If she was less earnest, I might suspect she was upselling, trying to endear me to her. Maybe. But I don't think that's the case. Elizabeth seems pretty straightforward. You see, it's what you get with her. She doesn't go in for subterfuge. She said she liked my cooking. She said she'd like me too. I wonder. I don't know her all that well. But... Oh.
Hi, Jameson. Good to see you again. Blah.
How do I feel about her?
Day 4. It's not like this is day or anything. Dummy.
Your fried salmon is delicious always, Makiko. It makes waking up in the morning worthwhile.
Oh, stop. You're flattering me.
If you keep praising me that much, dear, you'll make me blush. Maybe that's what I want. Your cooking's simply sublime. You deserve all the compliments in the world. And then some.
Oh, you're such a charmer.
You know it. Charming is my middle name. This dark one does not know if thou had a middle name. And really... Nene, who is busy shoving rice into her mouth, now pauses, then pounds. Must thee flirt with my grandmother at the breakfast table so brazenly? Thou art putting this dark one off her humble repast. And who do you think made this repast? You Makiko's efforts to thank for that. You ought to be grateful too, young lady. Now, I can't be credit for all the dishes on this table. Taichi also helped. Of course he did. My big brother is such a goody-goody. Nani scowls at this, unimpressed. She seems to regard as a personal mission of sorts to pour cold water onto my achievements, no matter how small. Elisabeth looks riveted, however, by his news.
Is that right? What'd you make, Taichi?
Oh, nothing too major. I just stuck some rice in the cooker, and I made the cold tofu salad. The salad is a real star of the show, and Grandma took care of all that.
You're downplaying your achievements, dear. Your tofu is lovely too.
I quite agree. Its flavors are subtle, but the soy sauce gives it a bit of a kick, and so does the green onion. It pairs well with the fish too. It's not too obtrusive. You've outdone yourself.
It's really nothing special. Anyone could make a tofu dish like this.
My eyes catch Nene's, and I feel the need to correct myself.
Well,
almost anybody.
At least.
Nene doesn't fail to catch an ill-disguised jab in my words. She might act stupid, but she isn't actually stupid, because she clicks her tongue. Then she turns her attention back to her breakfast.
I think it's good too. Thank you, Granny. Thank you, Big Bro. You're both amazing.
Aren't they just? I'm very proud of my wife's indefatigable efforts, and of course, I'm proud of my oldest grandson. You're a credit to the family. Now, let's not get too carried away over some cold tofu. Oh no, giving Taichi an inflated ego. Like there's any chance of that happening when I have you around to burst my bubble, Chiharu. I do try. Is it poor to be humble, after all?
Yeah.
Between my grandpa's high praise and my sister's scorns, I'm feeling kind of conflicted. Maybe I should just focus on my breakfast. I take a piece of cold tofu to my lips, then pop it in my mouth. Chew for a few moments, and then I swallow. The tofu doesn't make that much of an impression, but then again, it's not meant to. The dish is supposed to be light. Maybe it's too light though. Perhaps I should season it a bit more, but that would take away from my grandma's lovely prepared salmon. I think the simplicity of the tofu salad pairs well with the fish. Their flavor profiles are pretty complementary. I chew thoughtfully, letting the flavor of the salmon spread across my tongue. I started to think my grandpa's compliments are all well deserved. My grandma's cooking is good. I guess I've got a way to go. My grandma has a lot more experience than I do in the kitchen, but it'd be nice if I could reach her level someday. I wonder how many years of dedicated work that would take though. I've got my work cut out for me, but it's nice to have something to aspire to. I'm pondering these things idly, turning thoughts through my mind, when my grandpa speaks up. Yes, this salmon really is delicious. I've a real hankering for fish now. Maybe we should fish for dinner too. Fish. My grandma's brow furrows. It's not a bad idea, but this salmon was the last of it. I was planning to make something with beef. If it's fish you're after, we'll have to go to the shops, but it seems like a long trip for the sake of some sturgeon or porgy. We could go to the shops to pick up this fish. That much is surely true. But my grandpa's eyes sparkle. I know another way to get my hands on fish. This is a lot cheaper than going to the shops, and though it takes longer, the fish could taste even better.
What? But this fish tastes so good already. I can't imagine anything being better than this.
Can't you now? My grandpa chuckles. Then prepare yourself to have your expectations sundered, my dear girl. One fishy trip should be enough to show you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that fish dishes can be more delicious than this, particularly when they're prepared by an expert hand, like my Makiko's.
Fishing?
Elisabeth blinks. I wonder if in the demon realm they have like oceans. Guess they don't have fish there.
What's that?
It's very boring. I wouldn't waste your time on it. If I were you. Life's too short. Oh, Chiharu, how you wound me. Don't put Alyssa off the idea. Not before she's had a chance to explore for herself. My apologies, grandfather, but I must agree with Chiharu upon this point. Fishing is truly a dire pastime. This Dark One still has not forgotten the time thou took me to the river to indulge in your favorite sport. I never known for the minute that I could feel like an hour a day for an eternity. You must be joking. It can't be that bad, can it? If it really was that bad. This Dark One was so very bored, I fear mine began to calcify. Have we stayed up the river back any longer? I fear I would now be a Jizo statue. Flesh cold, immutable, and unresponsive. Ha! I could feel so strongly about the spur. I would invite you to come along. What about you, Alyssa? Would you like to see what all this fuss is about? Chiharu and Nene might have been fans of fishing, but I always found it rather relaxing.
You want me to come along too?
Well, why not? You're like a member of the family. Offer exists, if you like to take it. Don't take it for your sake. Be bored out of your mind. Indeed, this Dark One pierced my own flesh with with skin needles than go fishing, especially after what happened last time. It was awful. Fishing might have been the most interesting way to pass the time for a young girl like Elisabeth. I'm sure there are other things she would rather do. Ah, now even my own grandma's getting on the knee scene. She doesn't sound very positive about my grandpa's suggestion. And for good reason. I also think fishing's pretty dull.
But I think it sounds like fun. I've never been fishing before, so I like to attempt it. Especially if it's a hobby that you enjoy so dearly. Mr. Hasegawa. That should be so divisive among your family always serves to make me more curious. Not less. And you'll be kindless, won't you, Taichi? What? What?
No, don't rope him in.
Will I?
That's news to me. I wasn't aware I offered myself up as tribute. I mean, I volunteered to come along. Volunteer for the ride. My own feelings about fishing mirror Chiharu's pretty perfectly. The pair of us are dragged along. I mean, brought along on a bunch of Grandpa's fishing trips in the past. I don't have many positive memories associated with it. My grandpa might find us sitting on the riverbank for hours at a time, with the sun being on the crown of his head, diverting. But I don't. My mind always starts to wonder. Jordan says, "Hey Neva, going to bed. It's 12:58 for me, so we'll see you." Next string hugs her Canada, warms hearts, and sweet dreams. Good night, Jordan. Thank you very much for listening to me. Take care. See you next time. You and Bear. Have a good night's rest. Blair. Blair. I guess that's the point of fishing. To be alone among nature. I mean, it gets pretty old quickly. Especially on muggy days like this, which are full of insects. I don't want to be bitten to death by mosquitoes. I don't want to come along at all, actually. But...
Yes, you will. We'll go fishing together. And it'll be a lot of fun. I'm sure of it. After all, I always have fun when I'm with you. But I can't say no to that.
2 hours later. So much for this being fun. Elisabeth and I sit up, camp by the riverbank on a few foldable chairs. Grandpa helped us assemble our rods, and we all cast our lines into the water. We'll be at this for an hour. Damn, an hour. But my grandpa, despite his proposed fondness for the fishing, is already falling asleep. He's snoring so loudly, I wouldn't be surprised if the fish darting around in the river can hear him. I mean, that explains why I'm yet to score a single bite. That seems like a nicer explanation more than a logical one. Logical explanation being that I'm simply a bad angler. Weasel soup. I'm kind of envious of my grandpa, actually. I haven't been getting much sleep on account of my Elisabeth-related worries, and I'd like to slip into dreamland too. But I'm much too aware of my surroundings. I can feel the warmth of the summer sunshine bearing down upon me. I can feel too the stirrings of the breeze as it brushes against my cheeks. The breeze itself is lukewarm, and a caress makes me feel as though I stepped into a tub full of hot water. It's kind of soothing, I guess. Mm, mm, mm. What? No. Salmon, I think. But I can't quite bring myself to relax. Before my grandpa fell asleep, he managed to catch half a dozen fish, which are now swimming around in a bucket by his side. I think Elisabeth is in the same camp as me. She's not caught anything yet either. But I feel tense, regardless. I don't want to be the only one who emerges from this trip empty-handed. Or empty-bucketed. That'd be embarrassing. I'd like to catch at least a couple things. But... But... I'm starting to worry that might be impossible. Between my grandpa's story and Elisabeth's cheery, tuneless humming, I just can't pay attention. Sigh. Another exhaustion of air escapes my lips, this time one heavier than the last, which prompts Elisabeth to glance at me.
Taichi, are you alright?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Don't worry about... I was just... spacing out a little, I guess.
Are you sure? That was quite the big sigh. You sound rather fed up. My mother always says, that if you sigh like that, your happiness will escape you, like the air from a balloon.
They have balloons in the demon realm? Well, then again, she used to visit the human realm. But I wonder if, she understood what a balloon is.
I don't want you to deflate.
I don't think you have to worry about that. I'm not a balloon.
Well, if you're sure.
Elisabeth doesn't look wholly certain. Does she really think human beings are capable of deflating? But she drops the issue. Smiling to herself, she leans back in her chair, looks out over the river. Now I said that I'm on the spectrum. One time someone said, when we left a ladder on the ground. And then someone said, be careful, it might grow legs and walk away. It's like,
it might walk away?
It can actually grow legs. No, that's an expression. The river doesn't look scenic, even if I'm half asleep. The way the sunlight shimmers on the surface makes the waves sparkle. So bright and light, looks downright breathtaking.
Hey, Taichi.
Yes? What is it?
I just wanted to know, you don't mind that I dragged you out here, do you?
Nah, I don't. It's fine.
Are you certain?
I mean, this fishing thing wasn't even your idea. It was Grandpa's. You just got swept up in this enthusiasm.
Maybe I did. But does that mean you're not enthusiastic about this?
I've been enough to my grandpa's fishing jaunts in the past to know they tend to be pretty dull. Yeah. I can't say I like much sitting around for hours and hours, waiting for something to bite. I never seem to land any fish anyway. Not in all the times I've accompanied my grandpa. Here, I smile bashfully. Not that I make a habit out of this. I could probably count the amount of fishing trips I've endured with my grandpa on one hand.
You didn't slice the mat that much.
After a certain point, I guess I fear enough was enough. I know some people enjoy fishing, but I never been able to get into it. My mind wanders, and I start to feel restless. My poor track record with catching porgy doesn't really help. I'm so bad at fishing. It's kind of depressing, actually. Even Chiharu's better at fishing than me, and she doesn't even want to catch anything. She doesn't like how slippery they are. I smile as I reflect on an old memory. I can recall one fishing trip in particular, back when I was 9 and Chiharu was 8. Chiharu, to our surprise, managed to land a pretty large trout, one so huge she struggled to reel it in. My grandpa helped Chiharu haul in her catch, but once it broke the surface of the water, the real struggle began. Chiharu didn't want to detach the trout from the hook. She didn't want to go anywhere near it. I think she was afraid of its black, staring eyes. My grandpa tried to get Chiharu to engage with the fish. "You ought to be proud, Chi. Look what you caught." But Chiharu refused. She dropped her line. After taking several frantic steps backward, she shrieked, "I can't touch it. I don't want to touch it. It's a monster." I wonder if Chiharu remembered this moment. I don't think I've seen her more frazzled before or after. I'm gonna have to ask her when I get back to my grandparents' place. Though a part of me worries she might kick me for my innocent inquiry. And I'd be better off not reopening any old wounds. That trout gave Chiharu's nightmares for weeks after Grandpa wrenched the hook from its lip, tossed it into the bucket, and took it back home for Grandma to flay.
Ooh, I see.
Elisabeth's sweet, girlish voice cuts through the haze of my childhood recollections.
I thought you seemed hesitant. Maybe I had the idea of going fishing. But I didn't know you disliked it this much. If I'd been aware of her, perhaps I wouldn't have accepted your grandfather's offer. And I most certainly wouldn't have asked you to accompany me. I'm sorry, Taichi, if I was being selfish. I don't want to force you anything on you that might make you feel uncomfortable.
What? I can't help but be amused by Elisabeth's unexpectedly dour mood. She looks so gloomy. Her wings and tail even seem to be drooping. That's not right. Elisabeth shouldn't look sad. I got so used to her bright, cheery smiles. This feels way wrong. No, don't misunderstand. It's fine. Really. You don't have to apologize.
Are you sure? I hate to be a burden upon you.
I'm quite sure. It's totally fine. I don't like fishing very much. It's true. But I don't mind giving it a shot every once in a while. I'm not such a little kid. I can, on occasions, endure things I don't like. I mean, if I'm really that picky, I'd not be able to eat tomatoes. But I still manage to choke them down.
Don't you like tomatoes, Taichi?
Not really. I never have. But you can't have, like, ketchup or something. While other kids might have an aversion to broccoli, asparagus, or the ever detested green peppers, I've always been neutral on them. I neither hate them nor love them. My feelings are somewhere in between. Tomatoes, however, are a different matter. I always loathe them. There's something about their firm skin, coupled with their pulpy, slightly slimy insides, that make you shudder.
Ugh.
Tomatoes used to make me gag when I was a kid. I always pick them out of my salads and leave them on the side of my plate. My aversion to tomatoes is so great. I don't like pastas with tomato sauce, or most pizzas. I am better at dealing with tomato aversion as an adult, however. There are some things in life that you just have to deal with. I still don't like tomatoes very much, but I can eat them now, at least, which I think is for the best. I wouldn't want to upset my grandma by turning my nose up at her cooking. I guess fishing is something like that. I don't get much personal enjoyment out of it. I don't mind coming along. Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I know you want to come out here. Isn't that right?
I did, but I didn't want to come here at your expense. I hate to think that I might be a bother.
You aren't a bother, Elisabeth. I really don't mind. It's not like I had any plans for today anyway. You're not eating up any of my time. And if you're enjoying this excursion, I can glean some enjoyment from it, too.
Is that how it works?
I would like to think so. I mean, this might sound corny, but I like it when you're happy. You're our guest, so I think I should make a concession for you. And I know you won't be staying for very long. If there's something you want to do, you should do it. Ask me, and I'll try to make it happen. Our feelings might not always line up perfectly. When that happens, we can compromise. That's what relationships are all about. No two people are the same. And we're probably more dissimilar than most people, since I'm a human and you're a demon. When you think about it like that, it's amazing that we're getting along as well as we are.
Amazing, is it?
Elisabeth glances at the back of the river, her face flushed. I'm not sure whether she's blushing. My little speech was quite impassioned, or whether that's a result of the warm weather. In any case, however, Elisabeth looks unusually pink, and that's taking her hair into account, as she murmurs,
Maybe it is. I wanted to come to the Emerald Realm for a long time. I never imagined that I'd find it so enjoyable. Or that I'd find something even half as nice to me as you have been. Thank you, Taichi, for being so understanding. You really are, darling.
Darling? Huh. That's a pretty intimate thing to call somebody, isn't it? I don't have much experience at dating, but I thought that was something only couples said. Is she propositioning me? Maybe she really is a succubus.
No.
I need to get it together. Get my mind out of the gutter. I'm sure Elisabeth's just being nice, as is her way. Breathe, Taichi. In and out. In and out. Inhale, taking the rich, verdant air, and then smile. Don't mention it. Being nice to you comes pretty easily. Why wouldn't I want to be with you when you're so sweet? And Prax is smiling. Hours pass slowly, and our fishing trip eventually comes to a close. My grandpa, Elisabeth, and I return to our grandparents' home. Our cash is stashed away inside our bucket full of cool water. After arriving home, Elisabeth excitedly shows off the bucket of fish that she caught to my grandma, who says, My, you three have been busy. You caught more than expected. I'll have my work cut out for me tonight, cooking my way through all this. I'll be eating fish for a week. Chuckling, my grandma sets to work scaling, beheading, and filleting the fish that we caught. It's a task that I can help with despite my culinary test skills, given my general aversion for entrails. I can prepare meat just fine if I run out of pack in the supermarket, but I'm no good when it comes to cutting up the whole creatures. It freaks me out too much. I'm not much use, therefore, when it comes to preparing tonight's dinner, so that has me feeling a little guilty. I apologize to my grandma about this, but she only smiles. That's quite alright, Taichi dear.
You helped catch the raw ingredients for tonight's meal. As far as I'm concerned, you've helped enough.
I think you're giving me a bit too much credit there. It was my grandpa who caught most of the fish. Him. And surprisingly, despite her inexperience as an angler, Elisabeth. Between them, they netted quite the haul. I, meanwhile, was over to land. A couple of tiddly fish were so small. My grandpa advised you to throw them back into the river. They were so tiny. Flaying them wouldn't even have been worth the hassle. I don't think I made too much contribution to tonight's dinner. But don't be so down on yourself, Taichi, my boy. You tried your best, and that's all that matters. Plus, having you there gave Alyssa a real boost. You were doing a good job. Cheering her on.
That's right. I would not be able to catch a single fish if it wasn't for your encouragement, Taichi. Gave me the strength I need to believe in myself.
What is this? A boys' battle manga? Charu, who enters the kitchen to get a glass of water, snorts. What strength does one need to go fishing? Other than the ability to stave off boredom, that is. Now call me when dinner's ready. I'll be waiting. My grandma takes her time on the fish so much that the sun begins to set. Food isn't ready for a couple of hours, once the sun has sunk beneath the horizon altogether. Grandma finishes with the food, then brings it to the dining room. Nene, who's sprawled in front of the TV, leaps her feet and takes a step at the table. She says, "Ooh, it would seem thy fishing trip was not in vain. This dark one approves of the past laid out before her. I cannot wait to dig in." It does look good. I'll grant you that.
It smells good too. Can we start, Granny? Of course. I didn't prepare this meal so you could only look at it. Food is the best savor with the mouth, not the eyes.
And I didn't spend several hours by the riverside for naught. These fish are freshly caught. They should be at their most delicious right now. If you wait too long, they'll lose their flavor.
Ooh, then I need to eat quickly. I don't want this food going waste.
I'm way ahead of you, my dear little brother. I shall not waste a single morsel of the meal set forth before me. Ho ho ho. Nene descended upon her food like a plague of lotus, masquerade as a teenage girl. There's nothing rather visceral about it.
Actually, it's a bit disturbing.
She and Ressa both chew their way through their fish enthusiastically, without getting any carrot-to-table manners. Bits of fish, flesh, and grains of rice are soon scattered across the tabletop. Chiharu tugs at the shameless display. Can't you be more careful? But our grandparents seem quite unperturbed. Yes, that's right. Get this food down, you. I'll sure up your strength. You'll need plenty of it. Or so I reckon, given how hot it's been lately. Yes, indeed. Fish is really good.
Nene swallows a mouthful of fish, then declares cheerfully,
I might be a dark being, blessed by the Dark Lord, but consuming his foods make me feel as though I'm ascending to heaven.
Heaven? Huh.
Elisabeth eyes her own food, mistrustfully.
Maybe I shouldn't consume it then. I can't think of anywhere I'd like to go less.
Don't worry about Elisabeth. She doesn't mean it literally.
What? Ooh, yes.
Elisabeth smiles, somewhat abashed, while retrieving her chopsticks.
I forget. That is something your kind does. You do enjoy your funny turns of phrase. Well, then...
Elisabeth looks at her range of food displayed before her, the various braised and fried fish, dishes still exuding steam.
I shall commence. Thank you for the food.
Thank you yourself, dear. You helped catch it after all.
One doesn't like to boast.
It is interesting, though, knowing that I helped to prepare this meal.
It is a satisfying feeling. It almost makes you feel like I belong here.
You do belong here, dear. We love having you around. Isn't that right, Makiko?
Yes, indeed. Now please eat up, dear.
Your food will go cold.
Right.
Elisabeth breaks off a flaky piece of flesh from her braised fish, then brings it to her lips. She pops the piece of fish into her mouth, then chews. Her eyes fall shut. She chomps out on her fish. Her long lashes mad together. For a few moments, near perfect silence descends on the living room as we glance to Elisabeth. Even Risa and Nene, despite being ravenous, stop their masticating to examine her. We all watch, as though on tender hooks, as Elisabeth sambles the fish she helped catch. Elisabeth swallows. She sets her chopsticks down. Then, with a huge smile on her face, she says,
This really is delicious.
I lie on my futon that night, beneath the sheets. The light in my room has long since been turned off, and the floor is festooned with shadows. Risa fell asleep a while ago, caught up with his ever-trusty stuffed bunny, Flopsy. I can hear the faint sighs of my brother's light, snuffling, snoring, coupled with the sound of the breeze as it taps against the window panes. Reza sounds utterly at his ease, to such a degree. I feel a little jealous. I wish I could fall asleep myself, but I can't seem to manage it. My mind is preoccupied, as so often has been, with thoughts about Elisabeth. I'm not sure what tomorrow morning will hold, but I'm cautiously excited about whatever it might bring. I have, as I come to realize, I rather enjoyed spending my time with the ditzy demon girl. She's so blindingly cheerful. It's hard not to like her. I've become rather attached in quite the short space of time. And no, that's not because of how stacked she is. There's a problem, however, with our newfound closeness. Elisabeth is a demon, and I'm a regular human. She can't stay with me, or so she said, for a very long time. Not when the magic tethering her to the earth is so weak. She only has a handful of days left to study in the human realm. Once these days are up, she'll have to go home. When this comes to pass, whenever it comes, it seems unlikely we'll be able to see one another again. Something about returning to the demon realm sounds a lot more final than the ways these holiday trysts between boys and girls usually go. These romantic interludes, not I try to tell myself there's anything romantic about my feelings towards Elisabeth, tend to conclude with their pair going their separate ways. One half will return to, say, let's Tokyo, while the other go back to Sendai. There's a decent chunk of distance between Tokyo and Sendai, sure, but it's not insurmountable. Get there in 4 hours, give or take, if you hop on the right combination of trains. I have no idea how to get to the demon realm, though. Sex says I'm liking the story so far. Forget the geographical distance. I think there might be some temporal distance at play too. For every year that passes here, or so it seems, only 6 months. That go by in the demon realm. If Elisabeth returns home, how soon I'll age her. Then chances of us staying together become even slimmer. Not knowing that I want to stay together with her or anything.
idiot. It's just...
I've got a cousin having Elisabeth be around. Now, the thought of saying goodbye to her, he was a little sad. Especially when she said goodbye. It was so final. She goes back to Demon Realm. That'll be it, as far as I can gather. It seems unlikely that I'll be able to summon her again. That was a total fluke on my part. It's a unique happenstance that might never happen again. The summoning ritual seems tied to my grandparents' home, too. Or to be more precise, my grandpa's study. I won't be staying here much longer myself. In a few days, I'm going back to Tokyo with my parents. I'm a university student, and I have classes to worry about. Next semester will be starting soon enough. When it does, I won't have time to think about Elisabeth. It's inevitable that our paths will eventually diverge. I don't even know if I'll be able to stay in contact with once Elisabeth leaves. I don't know how much the Demon Realm, but I doubt they get good Wi-Fi signal. But I'd be able to email Elisabeth, text her even. Seems unlikely, given how shocked Elisabeth was about the camera functionality on Chiharu's cell phone. Technological disparity between human and Demon Realm seems almost insurmountable. No, I just sighed, turning over my futon. It's useless. All useless. There's no way this is gonna work. I've gotten used to Elisabeth's company. We can't stay together. It's sad. Coming to terms with sad things that growing up is all about.
Day 5. Let's go to the beach. Alyssa's swimsuit is super cute. Sorry, Chirps. I'm gonna bookmark it here. Make sure you say that. December 28th. Day 5. A trip to remember. But yeah, this is the end of part 2. I'm definitely going... I think we're able to finish this tomorrow. Yep. It'll be part 3 of my Lovey-Dovey Demon. But yeah, I hate to leave you on this cliffhanger because we actually get to see Elisabeth in a bathing suit. Beach episode. Anyway, this is VTuber Adair and Diha signing out. Thank you very much, products. GG. Well, not really, because yeah, we're not going to see the beach one yet. But yeah, I'm excited. Thank you very much, products. Thank you, Slick. Thank you, Jameson. Thank you, Jarvar. And to the rest of my chirps, mahalo for your time and company. I appreciate it. I hope to see you next time. Time to call it a night. I'm very happy that you were able to, make it to the stream. And hopefully, you'll see the next part of this visual novel series. Take care. Stay safe. Stay nifty. We'll see all of you again. Happy holidays. And, well, even though it's a bit early, Happy New Year. Later, everyone. Bye. Blah.